Hey everybody, Josh here with Ruby's Tagalong, the honeypot. We had a request a few weeks ago from a few people to show how we set up our awning, and on a recent trip to Bethungra Dam we did take some footage of how we set up our awning. Now we have an Alpine Annexes Tebbs Awning. We do have the sides and the front and everything for it, and the kids do sleep in that when we're camping with the kids. But on this particular trip, we didn't have the kids with us, so we thought we would show how we set up the roof of the awning, how it slides into the track, how we get the poles in, how we figure out where the creases where the creases are when it's up, and then how to even that out and straighten it all out so that it's nice and taut. So let's get the van set up and show you how the awning goes onto the side of the honeypot. And the other one probably I'll need to do. So now that the van is set up, the first thing we needed to do in this case was put the draft skirt in. We did have the dogs with us, so we did set up the fence panels. This draft skirt acts as a barrier to prevent the dogs from escaping once we've got the fence panels set up underneath the van. The ground was quite rocky here, so we ended up having to secure the draft skirt by grabbing a whole bunch of rocks and place them on the flap. And the draft skirt, the one that we ordered, did work out to be a little bit long, but it actually worked out quite well here as we're parked on a little bit of a slope. The bottom of the draft skirt almost perfectly matched up with the ground. So once the draft skirt is slid in, there's just a few push buttons on that you use to press the skirt onto the side of the van. I should add that I did install all of the fixings for this Annexe myself. We had barely had the van for 24 hours and I put this together in the driveway. And then 2 days later, we went away on a 10-day trip. So, yeah. Look at that. That drop is almost perfect. Now, in order to attach the awning does have a pull rope on it, and it goes into a track that is fixed onto the side of the van, not into the roof sections like the factory awning rail does. Now, when we ordered our Cruiseliner, we knew straight away that we were going to be putting a Tebbs awning on it, so we specifically ordered it without the factory rail, and we did manage to save ourselves a few bucks in doing that. Most of the AVans that you buy off the showroom floor in particular will come with that rail fitted, and we specifically didn't want it because we knew that this was the awning that we were going to be ordering. Now, I am having a little bit more trouble than I usually have here simply because the van is about 6 inches or 150 mil further off the ground than it usually is. So I had to step up into the doorway in order to thread it through. That said, once it gets up and over the top, it's just a case of dragging the rope down and then tying it off at both ends. And it never hurts to have a couple of kids on hand to help untangle the guy lines from the last time that they were packed away. Now, when you're assembling just the top without the sides, you don't need to put the full frame structure inside the awning. So it's just a case of putting the poles in, setting the guy lines, and then adjusting the height. I like to start with the corners first and then put the center poles in, as the corners give you a bit better of an idea where the guy lines are going to end up. And if you look along the edge of the canvas, you can straight line the corner up with the edge of the van. Well, just come hold that like that. Once again, never hurts to have a couple of little people on hand to help hold the poles. If the little people aren't available, then T usually helps me out here. Once the two corners are up, you can put in the two center poles, adjust them up, and then look at where the creases lay in the roof, and that will tell you which poles you need to lengthen or shorten. So we've got it sort of basically up. Now you can tell which poles need to be lengthened by looking at the roof. If it's sagging in this section, these poles need to come down. If it's sagging in this section, these poles need to go up. So if we lift that up, and then we lift this one up, let a bit more off this, a bit more off this. So it will probably need to go up more than you think it will. I've lifted both of these quite a ways, and it's because of the angle we're on here. The camera probably doesn't show it properly, but we're on quite an angle.
But look at the view.
Yeah, it's a beautiful view.
That's why we're here. But look at the awning.
And this is the awning. Now this was a bit more difficult to set up than it usually is, just because we are on quite a slope here. I had to climb up on the doorstep to get it in up the top, but I usually don't have to do that. The camera doesn't show it, but there's about that much drop between the front of the van and where we're standing. So that's the awning. Now we'll get the fence panels out, set the dog pen up, and clear out one of these fires and get a fire started.
Hello puppies. Hi babies. And get your beds out and go for a walk.
And that's that. So it's not too complex to put up. In this case, we had a bit of an issue getting the pegs into the ground because the ground was quite rocky, and trying to hammer pegs into the ground in rocky conditions is never real fun. I think we are going to get some of those screw pegs that you put in with the drill, so that should make things a fair bit easier. And once we've got those, the whole process will go a lot quicker. It doesn't take that long to set up. In this instance, we did put the skirt into the van because we did set up the fence panels for the dogs. The reason that the kids are in this shot is because we set up and then we drop them off at their grandparents, so that we got a night to ourselves. So I hope that's been informative. As always, please, if you could like, subscribe, share our videos, turn notifications on so that you do get updated. We are going to have some more van content and some trip reviews and campground reviews coming up shortly. We're having a little bit of a break from four-wheel drive content at the moment, although we will be getting back into that soon. We've got a few more trips coming up, and there's some footage that I've got sitting in the background that is pending editing, that we'll get some more Jeep and some more four-wheel drive content happening. So once again, please do like, subscribe, share the videos, head on over to Facebook, give us a like or a follow there too. That'd be greatly appreciated. This has been Josh with Ruby's Tag Along, the Honey Pot. Thanks everyone for watching. Cheers.